That classroom has to be immaculate clean. You have to be able to organize the toilet education, toilet awareness, the snack, the food preparation, the practical life. In that toddler class, you know that at the beginning, the moment that that child goes into the environment, he will touch everything. Everything. In the toddler environment, there is no way you can say you cannot touch this. So I will start with very few things, with many conversations. Basically, it's a matter of order, routine, how to go into the toilet, how to take off your clothes, how to change your shoes. So there are so tiny little things that you have to do. So to establish a routine and to establish also the child feels very comfortable and the child feels that he can predict exactly what's happening in the classroom.
Order is extremely important for the child and in setting up the environment. So things need to be found in their place, and the adult needs to help in that process. With children under 3, we can't expect them to be putting things back where they are from age 8 weeks. It's a process that happens. And in a nido, it rarely happens. It's the adult that's keeping the order. But the child still needs to be able to find what they need to in order to satisfy whatever development is going on inside of them. So if they're working on that 4-finger to thumb grasp, they can go over and find the rocking base where it was. It's not going to move to a different area. Even though they can't put it back, they need to be able to find it there to satisfy their development. Then when they get to the infant community, they start to understand things can be found in the same place. This is how order is. It gives security to the child. They form points of reference that makes them feel more comfortable in their environment so that they can find things. And usually they don't learn how to put their work away until they're transitioning to the primary. That's kind of one of the signs that we know they're ready because they can do a complete cycle of activity. So in the beginning, they're just going over and working at the shelf, knowing where that item belongs. And as things move along, they might take that item to a rug or to a table to work with, and then it stays at the table. It doesn't get back. But at least they know that work goes on a rug or a table. That's a sense of order they've gotten from the environment in terms of the adults and in terms of other children. Then they start putting their work back on any shelf in the classroom. So that rocking base might go into the shelf that has shoe cleaning on it. Any shelf in the environment. But they've internalized that order that work goes on the shelf. They know that that work goes on a shelf. They don't go over and put it in the sink. They put it on a shelf because they've internalized that order. So they're putting it on any shelf, and then eventually they're putting it on the correct shelf, not in the correct spot, but on the correct shelf. Then finally, it goes on that spot where it goes. Having works that are complete as well is important. So that means that all of the cloths for hand washing need to be present. Otherwise, the child can't be successful in doing hand washing if he doesn't have a towel to dry his hands. So we need to make sure that the child, when they're done, replaces those cloths, and if they don't, then we're replacing those cloths. If there are no more cloths, then we're removing the material somehow, putting it somewhere where it's not available anymore. Because the child doesn't understand there are no more cloths. They will go over and they will still try to do that activity.